Hi guys, this is Johnson Abiodun Oluwaseun. Welcome to Design with Jazz. Alright, so in today's class, what I'll be doing is I'll be working on a social media design with us. I downloaded this image online from a stock image website. Okay, now the concept is I want to use this image and I want to retain the background. So right here I'll be modifying the picture and I'll be reducing the attention of some things on the picture. So right now what I will do is I'm going to convert this. It's already in smart object. I will name this and call it image. Okay, so I will use Ctrl C to transform and I will scale it really big, just like that, to make sure it full the whole page of my design. Okay, and I can make adjustments and push it to the left with my arrow key just a little and hit enter. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'll be making selection and select this picture out of my background. Okay, so I'm going to come to select and select subject. So Photoshop is going to load for a while to make selection of my image. It's going to load for a while, just for a few seconds, depend on how fast your laptop is. And in case you don't know, this is Photoshop CC 2023. So if you have CC 2021 from above, you should be able to make most of these moves. Alright, so this is Photoshop and welcome to my world. Okay, alright, this is going to take a while. Now after this we are going to zoom in and ensure every part of the image is selected. Okay, let's ensure everything is selected. Alright, so it's and here we are going to enhance it by activating the polygonal lasso tool and just add up to it. Alright, the part that is not selected is cutting out a large portion of the image, which is not really okay. And also the sleeve of this man clothes are going to add up to it. Okay, and then we go back to the origin, which is where we are starting from. Alright, I'm zooming in and zooming out with the use of Ctrl plus and Ctrl minus. Ctrl plus is to zoom in, okay, and Ctrl minus is to zoom out. Alright, I'm going to modify this element by adding up to it also. Okay, I'm back to the origin. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this outfit as well. Alright, so once I'm done with all the selection, I can then cut it out from the rest of the background. Okay, I will just copy it out from the rest of the background, as simple as that. Alright, back to the origin again. Okay, the selection is not perfect, so let's do more. Come here, come to this region, I'm back to the origin again. Okay, so we check very well to be sure we have everything we are meant to select selected. We are making further selection. Alright, it's not every time that Photoshop selected for us that it will be perfect. At times you just have to modify and make things better. Alright, let's do the addition, and once we are done with addition we can subtract as well. Alright, if we check here in between his body and his hand, this is a background, so I will switch to subtraction here, and I'm going to subtract. I'm going to be taking out now. Alright, so we subtracted this already, and from here I think we are good to go. Okay, a little bit of addition. You can add this, the hem of his trouser. Alright, okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to press Ctrl J or right click and click on layer via copy. Okay, once we do that we can drop our tool. So this is our new selection. Alright guys, this is our new selection. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to convert this to black and white by clicking on the black and white button here. Alright, it might look minimal, but it's very effective, believe me. So this is it before and this is after. We're actually trying to take out details from here, so we can turn off the visibility of this. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to filter and apply my blur. Okay, I'm going to apply my Gaussian blur. The essence is, we mentioned earlier that you actually want to take out details from this design, but not so much, just a little. Okay, so like this, the background will be calling for lesser attention than it was before, and then I will hit OK. Alright, so now if I turn this on, it's way different from the way it was looking before. Alright, it was looking very sharp before, but now it's calling for lesser attention now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this image by adding curve to it. Alright, I'll be adding curve. I will clip it. Once I click on this icon means I'm clipping. Okay, once I click here, I'm clipping. So I will come here and I will add my curve just like that. Just a little bit of detail, nothing so much. Alright, we are just adding little detail to it, and just like this. Can you see that our picture before and after? And yes, okay, so after I do that, the next thing I'm going to do is I will be making a selection around my picture. If we check this picture, we notice at the upper part here there's a ray of light. There's light shining on this cloth, reflecting on this cloth, so we'll be making it look more real by adding more light to it, and we'll be doing that with the use of brush. Alright, we'll be converting this to smart object eventually. So to make my selection, I have to click on Ctrl and click on the marquee of my subject. Click on the marquee of my subject and then click on addition button, the add button, to create a new layer, and then I'll be zooming in and I'll be adding more white brush around the region with the light. So I'll be clicking my white brush. Okay, make sure the white brush, make sure your transfer is checked. Alright, you can examine that. Subtrend brush, make sure transfer is checked, and then you are good to go. Okay, alright, so we have the subtrend brush and we have transfer checked. Since I'm not using a graphics tablet, I'll be putting my flow at 14 just as it is now. So I'm going to reduce the size of this brush with my left square bracket, and I'm going to brush through. Alright, so just apply more light. So we are doing this to just add more details to our design. Alright, during the process of cutting out, something might have been missing already. So it might look minimal, but very important. Minimal but very important. Okay guys, so this may add more light to this. So eventually I'm going to add more light to the top of the design also, so that the light that is shining will be reflecting more, and I'll be adding the light with the use of brush also. So alright, so I'm going to press Ctrl D to deselect, and I'm going to name this white light. Alright, so if we turn this off, this is our picture before and this is after. You can see it's minimal, but it's actually doing a lot. It's actually adding a lot of detail to this design. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shift select and group this together by pressing Ctrl G. Alright, and then I can make a duplicate, turn off the visibility of this, just like making a copy, and then I will right click and convert to smart object. I will convert it to smart object, and then I can name this man. Okay, and the next thing I actually want to do now is I want to boost the appearance of my design, I mean the picture. Alright, so I'll be taking it to well, before I do that, I'm going to press Ctrl J again, or click and drag and drop on the plus sign here. So I want to make it to become more sharper. So I'll come to filter, order, and then activate the eye pass. Okay, so here it's at 2.0, so I will click OK. Alright, you can leave yours as 2.0 also, and then come here and give it soft light. Alright, it might look so minimal, but believe me, it's adding an important detail to this design. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group these two together, press Ctrl J, convert to smart object, and I can rename it to man again. And after this, I'm going to come to filter and go to camera raw filter. So here I'll be adjusting my slider for my filter so that my picture will pop well. Alright, so I'm applying this on my picture, not on my background or anything, on just the picture. Okay, so once I do that, you are going to see the outcome of what we are going to have. Alright, so just pay close attention as I'll be boosting the colors, the appearance, adding more vibrance. Okay, adding more sharpen, just make everything pop. Alright, the essence is to make my design pop more. Alright, so I will come to basic, and increase my contrast. Okay, so here the picture becomes sharper. Alright, and then I can give my exposure and leave it something around 10. I think 10 is okay. Alright, then I can reduce the blacks, slide it down, and then I can increase my texture. Alright, so that my picture will be more sharp, and also my clarity will be increased just a little. Then I will add more vibrance to this. Okay, alright, so that the whole color will be sharper, the blue and the rest of the color on this outfit. So after that, I'm going to come to detail and add more sharpen. Alright, and then I can add reduce noise, because I'll be adding noise to this, but I don't want the fade to be so much, so I have to add reduce noise. Then I can come to my fade and add a bit of grain. Alright, this grain is like noise in design. Okay, and then I will hit on OK to activate. We're going to see now how our picture will come out even more better. Can you see that now? Alright, you see, this is the way our picture was before, and this is it now. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer, and I'll be actually applying my white brush to the top here, and I'm supposed to put my content at the bottom part of this design, so I'll be adding a white layer here also, like white brush here also, so that I can position my product which I'm advertising. We're actually advertising a pain reliever drug. You can see this guy is in pain, obviously. Alright, so and also I'll be adding my content. Okay, so let's select our brush and then make it big, and then I'll be adding it just a little to the top here. Alright, just a little to just add detail. Alright, so this serves as my sun. Alright, the sun that is reflecting on the clothes. Okay, and then I will be painting the down part just like this. Okay, the content will be on the left side, so this can be thicker. Alright, this also, this way I'll be putting my drug, the drug we are trying to advertise and sell to people. This way I'll be putting it. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing now is, can you see this becoming real? Alright, you can see this becoming real, because we want to check the original picture and what we have now, they are miles apart. Alright, we've actually improved quite a lot of things just from all these adjustments. Okay, so the next thing is I've cut out the product I want to advertise, which is Panadol. Okay, I've cut it out, and I will click and drag and put it here. Okay, putting it somewhere on my design. Before I go fast, I'm going to add my grid. Grid is like guide. I'll be adding my guide to my design. Okay, and I will come to new guide layout. So the essence of this is that it will actually guide the way I'll be positioning my content. Okay, so these are 70. I can put it at 100 each, 100, and this 100, and this 100. Okay, and I will hit OK. So with this, the essence is it will help my layout. Okay, it's going to help my layout so that we play better with the position of my content. Nothing will exceed the way it's meant to be. Okay, so I've made my picture bigger, and as you can see, this is well positioned, but it's still kind of floating. Alright, I don't want this to be floating at all. That's not the aim. I need this to be well seated. Okay, so that it will be more real. So I'm putting my picture close to my guideline, and then I'll press Ctrl H to hide this this guide, and then I will be adding my shadow, and I'll make sure my shadow is real. Okay, if you check very well, the major source of light is coming from the top right of this picture, from the top right of this picture, so it's shining like this. So if you have our shadow, all right, let me create something to illustrate that. If light is coming, and it's coming from this particular part of the design on the rest of the body like this. Okay, by the time we'll be having our shadow will be casting towards this direction. Okay, not towards the right, it will be casting towards the left. I believe we understand. So that's what we'll be working with to create our shadow also. So I'll be creating a new layer, and this new layer I will be drawing a shape, and the shape I'll be using my pen tool to draw that custom shape. So I will activate my pen tool and I will construct a path. Okay, so I will start from here, just this edge here, and then come like this, and then I can go in a straight format. Pressing shift will allow me to go straight. I can come here, click here, go straight like this, and then back to origin. Once I'm done, I'm going to activate shape. Okay, so this way we have our shape, and the next thing I'm going to do is I will raterize this. Okay, this will allow me to apply any effect I want to apply on it, and then I will click OK. Then I will come to filter and the blur gallery, and I will click on feed blur. Alright, I will click on feed blur. I'll click on feed blur, and okay, so the shadow is meant to be in a motion format, alright, like something progressing in such a way that it will be fading away. Alright, so I'm going to increase this so that I can have the result I'm looking for. Okay, so I think I'm okay with this, and then I will hit OK. So the next thing I'm doing is I'll be taking away from this shadow. Alright, I'll be taking away from this shadow. Okay, this taking just a bit of time. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing is I will firstly reduce the opacity because it's too thick. Okay, it's too thick, and then I can name this shadow, so shadow 1, and then I'll be adding a layer mask by clicking on this icon here. Okay, then I will activate my brush. Once I activate my brush, I will then be painting. Okay, I can set my flow to 15, enter, and then I'll be painting through. Okay, I'll just erase. Alright, the reason why this is effective is because I have my foreground color as black and the layer mask as white. Okay, if I want to add, I have to switch my foreground color to white, and then I can switch. So after this, the next thing I'm going to do is create a new layer, and then I will draw another shape again. As we can see, the shadow is not yet real, it's still looking like it's floating. I'll be doing another shape again with my pen tool. Okay, so you can zoom in very well to see the part you'll be drawing. Alright, so I will come here and then go in this direction, go straight, come here, and then back to where we are coming from. So once I'm done, I'm going to hit shape. Okay, so I'll be rasterizing this also, and then I will go to filter, then blur, and then Gaussian blur. So I'll be applying just a little bit of Gaussian blur. It's already at 4.4, and then I will hit OK. Alright, so one thing I can do is I can reduce this if I believe it's too thick, or I can leave it just like that. Okay, it depends on me and what I choose to do. So I can, this should also be named shadow. Okay, always ensure you name your layer, it will really help you. Okay, so we can position our box to ensure it's sitting well on the shadow. All right, so I think I'm okay with this. So the next thing is I'll be bringing my content. I already have it typed. So this my content here, already have it typed, and then I going to drop it here. So I will press Ctrl H to on the visibility of my guide, and then I will make this big. Okay, I'm going to make this big, and the reason why I added this Q to it and make my font slant is to make my content don't look like every random content you see out there, and at the same time, because of the position of the body, if you notice the body is positioned in a particular way, the body of the guy is slanted, so I make sure my font, my typography, my font is following that format too. It gives meaning and it's communicating. All right, so with this, if I have particular logo, I can just add it to be top right or top left corner, and we have our design. Voila, just like that. All right, if you stay to the very end, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime we post new tutorials. All right, like this video and share, and watch out for more beautiful design from Oasis Demis. All right, thank you for joining. See you at the top. Thrive.